to a video. So today I'm diving back into Algorand. I think in my last video I was saying, okay, that from this high retracing to this low, okay, as I said, if you come down and you bounce off of this, create a lower high, you're looking to roll over and retest this trend line here of support, okay, on the daily time frame. Okay, so this is played out beautifully at the moment, and you can see that currently what Algorand has done, as I mentioned, has put in an A, a B, and basically a C wave down to support. So this is what we was looking at. This was the play that we was looking at here. Now what you can see, I think my target was 31 cents, okay, on the 0786, and you can see that from there, okay, we've had a nice little wick. We closed above it yesterday, but we did wick down to that 31 cent area. So currently, if you did get involved here and did buy off this trend line, you would be up around 4.3%. Right now, you can see that we are running into the 0702 at 32 cents. Okay, so what we want to see today is a clear break above that, okay, and back into previous support, maybe turning that to resistance to come back for another higher low on this trend line. Okay, it's all about holding this trend line. So if we do run up to the 0618, which is the golden ratio at 33 cents, I would expect some sort of pullback, okay, because you're going to be running into previous resistance, previous support. Okay, so this was resistance, you came down, you broke out, you came down for support, created a lower high and have rolled, okay, and you've lost this previous support and now potentially could run back into that as resistance, look for a coil up, and hopefully potentially what I'm looking to see here, guys, okay, hopefully what I'm looking to see, I said you could potentially get thrown back into this pattern. Okay, so we broke out of this double bottom here, we had a higher low, we broke out, and I said if you do start to come down and lose 33 cents, you're going to get thrown back in, and that's exactly what's happened. You've been thrown back in to this ascending triangle, okay, like this. You had a breakout and you've come back into this pattern. So right now what we want to see is basically still a coil up here. Okay, we still want to see a coil up. We want to see something like this. Let me show you. Okay, so right now you've got this previous support turn into resistance, okay, and as I've mentioned, we're coiling up on this daily trend line here. So what we want to see is some sort of continuation within this pattern, holding this horizontal level of resistance, okay, and holding this ascending level of support, and you're still going to be getting some sort of coil up here looking for a break, okay, and forming some sort of smaller ascending triangle on a daily time frame. Now one thing to point out here, okay, look at the Stoch RSI when we was back here in the 25th of August, okay, he was in the floor and the Stoch RSI was in the floor. The Stoch RSI got its bounce, okay, and you started to come up and you got your bounce here before you had the breakout. Right now, the Stoch RSI again is in the floor, exactly the same area as it was on the 28th of August when you had that insane pump. So right now, is this the time where ALGO starts to come up, okay, and does start to form this ascending triangle? So this is something we need to look out for here. Now, for this retracement, okay, if this is our low off this 31 cents and we're retracing back up to this high, you can see that we have got a lot of levels above of which ALGO does need to break above. Okay, so for one, okay, you've got this 236, which is our key resistance right now. 33 cents was previous support. Okay, it was previous support, and now you've turned that into resistance. So as I said, you want to sort of see a coil up here, okay, holding a higher level of support, squeezing this ascending triangle. And if you do get this ascending triangle, you can see that the breakout target, okay, if you was to break out at some point, would bring you back up to the 050 at 35 cents. Again, which would be resistance. You can see here this was resistance where you came up off this low, got resistance, fell down, potentially you're coiling back up to that as well if you break out from this ascending triangle. So right now we need to see this level held, okay, we need to see this 31 cent area held for ALGO, because if it doesn't, you could be invalidating. If you do start to come down and lose this 31 cents and we do get rejected here and do something like this and fall under this trend line and hit our heads on it, okay, ultimately you're retracing back down to these lows. And what potentially could be happening here for ALGO is you could be in a larger 1, 2, 3, a wave 4 up to previous support, turn it to resistance, and a wave 5 back down, retracing to where we actually came from off of this low. Now that would be very negative because you'd be creating something called a reversal wave where you've had this fake out and right now you're coming back down to retest the lows that we created on Sunday the 28th of August. Okay, so do watch out for that, guys. This 31 cent area has to hold, and you have to I mean, you can see here on the daily time frame that if you did come back up to previous support and turn that to resistance, equally you'd be coming back up to these EMAs, and that would be a great test for ALGO, whether it's going to pull back, hold a higher level of support and break out, okay, or whether it's going to pull back, lose this trend line, and start to create a further reversal wave down of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Elliott wave theory, retracing back to this low of which we came from. Okay, so guys, that's a quick update today. As I've mentioned, okay, we need to hold support here, this 31 cents. Do get this trend line in. As I said, you would be up 4% today if you did get a cheeky buy down on this trend line. And key resistance right now is 33 cents. Okay, so the key resistance that we need to see Algorand break, or at least retrace back up to, okay, is 33 cents. So technically speaking, we basically had this breakout. Okay, as I said, you was in this ascending triangle, you had the breakout, okay, and then you've been thrown back into this pattern, the same pattern that you was in here. Okay, it's just called a throwback. So as long as you can continue to hold and squeeze up here like this and get some compression, you are looking for a break of resistance or a loss of support. Okay, and we will monitor that moving forward. But as I said, guys, okay, we could be looking at a little long up here into previous support and turning that to resistance. So do look for a push potentially off that 31 cents. You could have been up around 7.6% if we do get that push back up to 33 cents. Okay, and at that 33 cent area, as I've said, if you do come up, do look to get pushed back and hold support, okay, and get some sort of squeeze. Ideally, one negative play here, if we do see a death cross where this yellow comes under the red like this, okay, and you run up into this as resistance, do look for a larger pullback, okay, because if you are getting rejected by these EMAs and you do create a series of lower highs, okay, it is quite negative and you are looking for a pushback, okay. So this trend line has to hold if we do run into resistance again at 33 cents. Okay, guys, but as I've said, the stock RSI, when it's in the floor here like this, it normally provides optimal opportunity. Okay, when you're down here, look at this day, 27th of July, look at the price. Okay, the RSI started to climb from the lows, the price started to climb from the lows. You came up to the peak here, this is where you met a top, you came back down. Okay, just like here, you came back down, and then this came to this low, okay, which was right here. The RSI went up, the price went up. The RSI's come down. Okay, the RSI has probably come down. Right now, we're looking for the price to go up with the RSI. Okay, so guys, it's all about holding this ascending level of support. Okay, the stock RSI is showing that this is a great area to get involved. Okay, and potentially all we're doing is literally bouncing off of this trend line that I mentioned in previous videos as support. Okay, so you've got this right now. You've also got this resistance on your head. Okay, if you do see ALGO start to, because look, you got this resistance, okay, resistance. If you do see ALGO start to coil up here and break out this resistance line, okay, that for me gives confirmation that you're going to start retracing to this high here, okay, this high at around 36 cents. And at that point, if you did see ALGO come up to that and then get his pullback, okay, you're still holding this ascending level of support, okay, and it's golden basically. So until you lose this ascending level of support and do something like this and hit your head on it, okay, things aren't looking too bad. Right here, I am looking for a bounce into the EMAs, a pullback, and then looking for continuation to try and get ourselves back out of here. Okay, and essentially all you'd be doing is forming some sort of larger, you'd be forming some sort of potential larger horizontal ascending triangle where you've got a low like this, you've come up, you've come back down. Okay, if you start to come up now and retest this previous resistance area here, at a price of 38 cents, okay, you could again be looking for another pullback and eventually breaking out and just coiling up on some larger ascending triangles. So there's patterns within patterns here, guys, basically. But for me, I said in the near short term, I think we are looking for a push up to 33 cents, a potential pullback, okay, and then looking for a breakout of 33. If we do get that 33 breakout, okay, I said previously that we'd be going from there to there, and you could see that our break at target would bring us back up to this B wave of this A, B, C, okay, it would bring you back up to the B wave high, at which at that point, okay, again, as I've said, you'll be running into this line of resistance right here, okay, if we did come up and meet that at 38 cents. 38 cents, I would expect a pullback and then again a retest, okay, so then again, you're holding higher levels of support and looking for continuation. Okay, so guys, my foundational level of support is this trend line. If you do lose this trend line, okay, and start to hit your head on it, believe me, you are looking to retrace to these previous lows that we created in September and retesting the local lows of ALGO and the structural foundational support that it's trying to build here. Okay, so in my eyes, what this looks like, okay, is you've got this low, you've been holding this low, potentially you're coming back to that low again. Okay, this is just foundational bottoming structure you're trying to form here. It's all about holding the lows. That's it. If you did come down, okay, and you started to lose these lows, okay, and you started to negate these lows like this, okay, you know you're in for more downside because you're losing key areas of support that you've been holding from back in June. Okay, guys, so for me, that's a quick update. I hope you enjoyed today's content. I am going long off this trend line. The stock RSI is in the floor. This ascending level of support is holding. Okay, it's all about what happens when we run into resistance that was previously support at 33 cents. Okay, as I said, I would expect a pullback and hopefully holding this ascending level of support before another breakout up to 38 cents. Okay, guys, so that's a quick update for you today on Algorand. I hope you enjoyed today's content. If you did, please do like, comment, share, and subscribe. Until next time, from Chart Nerd TA, peace out.